Panibagong coach, panibagong direksyon para sa Magnolia. Panibagong leader din na gwardiya. Ang katanungan ngayon, gaano ba ang kalakas si Jerome Lastimosa? So this is Bakit Explained Spotlight Edition. Sa video na to, pag-uusapan natin si Jerome Lastimosa at ang kanyang performance so far bilang lead guard ng Magnolia Hotshots. We're also going to talk about a few other players. Very briefly, i-cover natin yung mga players I found interesting. So simulan na natin. This is Bakit Explained Spotlight Edition. Pag-usapan na natin ang unang player sa listahan. Let's start with Jerome Lastimosa ng Magnolia Hotshots. Ngayon sa Magnolia Hotshots, ang napansin ko na talaga na si Jerome Lastimosa na yung lead guard nila and he's running the offense para sa Magnolia Hotshots ngayong conference. And dahil doon, we've seen Jerome Lastimosa take the next step. Talagang siya na yung lead guard ng Magnolia and talagang na-unlock yung skill set niya all throughout. And now we're seeing one of the better versions of this Magnolia Hotshots kasi in-embrace na nila yung youth movement and yung actual talent na may potential sa team nila. So far, through 6 games to start the conference, Jerome Lastimosa played roughly around 28 minutes per game kung saan nag-average siya ng 16 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 3.8 assists per game. He also shot 55% from the field. I-explain natin later kung bakit mataas ang kanyang field goal percentage. And he also shot the ball, or the three-pointer, 42.9%. So now, what I like about Jerome Lastimosa is his ability to control his pace. Yung sarili niyang pace mismo, not the game itself. Alam niya kung kailan niya kailangan maging mabilis, maging mabagal, magmaneuver, dumiretso. And yung third quarter surge ng Magnolia Hotshots against SMB na siya ang nag-lead. Ang dami ko nakitang clips, even hanggang fourth quarter, ang dami ko nakitang possessions kung saan na-exercise si Jerome Lastimosa. Yung change of pace na sinasabi natin. Na yun na rin yung reason kung bakit pataas yung field goal percentage niya. Kasi ang galing niyang pumunta near the basket to get to the rim because of his dribbling ability. Hindi nga dribbling ability kasi simple lang naman siya mag-dribble. Hindi naman siya sobrang fancy. Pero ang galing kasi niya ng magpalit ng pace from fast to slow to medium to slow to fast. Anyway, tignan na lang natin. Dito sa play na to, high ball screen attacking Junmar Fajardo. Good setup dito with the float dribble na between the legs to set up, Chris Ross into the screen kay Laput. So, Junmar Fajardo medyo mataas dito. If si Jerome Lastimosa, let's just say, dumaan siya rito sa screen, sasalubungin niya si Junmar. So, ang ginawa ni Jerome, dahil matalino siya, nag-set up dribble siya, papunta sa screen, diniin niya si Chris Ross, sabay reject the screen. And Junmar Fajardo, nowhere to be found. Jerome Lastimosa, wide open. Again, the change of pace from slow to fast. Dito naman, again, yung subtle change of pace sa in-and-out dribble niya after attacking Junmar Fajardo. Dito, high ball screen ulit. Ang taas ulit ni Junmar. It's Jerome Lastimosa from fast to slow, back to fast. In-and-out dribble, attacking Junmar Fajardo, downhill. And again, Jerome Lastimosa, quality look inside the paint. Dito naman, empty side na corner. Dito, walang tao. Lahat ng Magnolia players and San Miguel players nandito sa side na to. So, si Jerome Lastimosa, transition. Si Junmar, again, hindi engaged. Si Bronjal, mataas. And si Chris Ross, floating, trying to shadow Jerome Lastimosa, but at the same time, not being too aggressive. So, ang ginawa rito ni Jerome, ginamit niya yung Dennis Schroeder specialty move. Kasi na-realize niya na walang tao sa ilalim. And again, the change of pace. From slow to medium to fast, back to slow, back to fast. And hindi naman talaga sobrang fancy ng mga ginagawa niya. Yun siguro we'd argue it's a fancy, dribble move. Pero most of the time between the legs, simple crossover, yun lang naman yung ginagawa niya. Kagaya dito, high ball screen ulit. Diba? Ini-snake niya yung pick and roll. Basically, 2 beses niya ginamit si Sanggalang as a screener. Una, yung actual screen. And then pangalawa, ginamit niya ulit yung katawan ni Sanggalang to snake the ball screen. So kaya siya snake kasi basically ganito yung motion. Pagka snake ni Jerome Lastimosa, now it's him against Junmar again. Once again. Pero this time, ibang scenario naman kasi medyo nasa loob na si Jerome Lastimosa ng arc. So anong gagawin ni Jerome? From slow to quick. Quick crossover after ng snake dribble. And again, it's the change of pace. Balikan natin. Okay, makikita natin dito from medium to slow to quick. Grabe, iwan na iwan. And that's, being crafty, creativity, knowing what to do with the ball. Purposeful na moves and decision making with the ball. Susunod na pag-uusapan natin ay si JB Bahiyo ng NLEX Road Warriors. Talk about being underrated. I feel like tayo as a nation, we've gotten into the point na masyado nating dinadownplay yung mga traditional aspects ng basketball dito, and we focus too much now on aesthetics and international standards, which is perfectly fine, dapat lang. Pero ang naging resulta kasi noon na we overlook good, honest basketball nowadays. Standing at 6'5", definitely undersized, si JB Bahiyo ng NLEX Road Warriors ay isa sa mga best young bigs right now sa PBA. Pero unfortunately, parang walang may pake. Pero syempre tayo meron. Matagal na siyang nasa radar ko. I was just looking for a reason na i-cover siya. Pero this player is your traditional solid PBA quote-unquote big man. So far this conference, through his first 5 games, nag-average si JB Bahiyo ng 14 points, 8.7 rebounds, and 1.8 assists sa 29 minutes na binibigay sa kanya. Roughly, per game, fundamentally sound siya as a player. His footwork is good. Hindi siya flashy, very simple lang, pero wala siyang moves na unnecessary. He just gets the job done. Kumbaga sa mata ko, he's a smaller Justin Arana. Of course, maybe hindi same level. Definitely pala, hindi maybe. Pero kung PBA lang naman ang usapan, JB Bahiyo doesn't need to be 6'7" to be effective offensively. Defensively, yes, oo, malaking bagay yun, yung extra 2 to 3 inches. Against the likes of Junmar o Japet Aguilar, talagang mahihirapan. And nakita natin yun sa game sila against Ginebra. Yung na-produce niya na numbers na na-mention natin kanina, really good numbers yon relative to how young he is sa liga. And relative rin sa kung gaano siyang katagal naglalaro every game, na wala pa nga 30 minutes. Pero lahat ng numbers na yan, he did it in good efficiency. 56.1% shooting. Though hindi siya 3-point shooter as in 0 attempts, pero as a small ball big, especially for NLEX, I think this guy is very underrated and should be appreciated more by us. Alam nyo, parang TNT ang nakahit ng pinakamalaking jackpot sa PBA off-season so far. Hindi lang dahil sa na-add nila si Gio Halalon sa free agency. Very solid role player. Can be a backup point guard para sa kanila. Can start from time to time. Pero ang pinaka-under the radar, underrated pero pinaka-may sense na signing ng TNT ay si Kevin Ferrer. Isang 6'4", 6'5", 3-and-D knockdown shooter na nag-regress ang laro dahil sa injury and dahil naitapon sa farm team na Terra Firma G. Pero now, playing for a team like TNT, drive and kick, dribble drive, bagay na bagay yung laro ni Kevin Ferrer, and napakita niya yon sa pinakaunang laro ng TNT ngayong conference against Phoenix. Ferrer shot 4 out of 5 from the outside. Kahit na tumayo lang talaga siya sa corner, palift-lift lang siya papunta sa wing, marerewardan siya. Because TNT offense rewards players like Kevin Ferrer, na pwede maging solid option off the bench pagdating ng playoffs. Ngayon, through 5 games after ng Terra Firma Jeep game ng TNT, Kevin Ferrer, sa sample size na yon, played around 20 minutes per game kung saan nag-average siya ng very decent 8.2 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.8 assists per game off the bench, and also shot the ball 45% from the field and 42.1% from 3. So it's safe to say na na-unlock ulit ng TNT yung laro ni Kevin Ferrer, and it's really obvious na ang TNT ay talagang gunning sila for revenge and maybe another title run with all these moves na ginawa nila no off-season. And last player na we'll talk about today ay si Jeremiah Gray ng Barangay Ginebra. Dahil sa pag-alis si Jamie Malonzo sa team bago magsimula yung season, biglang nalagay sa spotlight si Jeremiah Gray to step into that role. Tumaas bigla yung expectations sa kanila. Pero personally, I had no expectations kasi at this point, considering lahat ng, unfortunate na pinagdaanan ng Jeremiah Gray, him turning out to be a solid role player, I think is more than enough. Kumbaga bonus na nga na solid starter siya ngayon. Kasi let's just say, tanggalin natin yung athleticism and motor niya na in my opinion, dapat nga yung ibang players na yung gumagawa ng mga hustle plays, pero every game na pinapasok si Jeremiah Gray, parang siya yung pinakamataas yung motor. Pero anyway, kung tatanggalin man natin yun, di ba, yung athleticism and motor niya, solid shooter and shot creator pa rin naman siya. Percentages wise, yes, could be a red flag, pero kung purong abilidad ang pinag-uusapan natin dito, I think he's one of the more talented ones dito sa liga. In terms of production so far, it's been really good so far this conference, outside of that one game against SMB na for some reason, Binangko siya ni Coach Tim. This conference na alam niyo yun, di ba? Yung Ginebra lacking in terms of that department. So I don't understand why would you not encourage a guy, di ba, to shoot freely kung wala naman talagang makashoot sa team na to. Pero anyway, daanan muna natin yung stats niya. Yung kompleto muna para fair. So far this conference, through 5 games, Jeremiah Gray played around 22 minutes per game kung saan nag-average siya ng 8 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Percentages wise, not ideal. 37% from the field and 26.7% from 3. But weirdly enough, 2 out of 3 siya total sa 4 points. Maybe that's interesting. Maybe pwede siya maging ala Jerick Ahanmisi na 4-point specialist. Pero again, I honestly don't care about percentages sa scenario niya with Ginebra. Sa team na walang may gusto talagang umiscore, the fact na may gustong umiscore and kaya mag-produce ng solid 8 to 12 points or 8 to 10 points every game, for me enough na yon.